Hello everyone, good morning. Just to give me a brief introduction about myself. I am Ram and I have total 17 years of experience in Microsoft technologies. I worked on .NET, SharePoint and then moved to ERP, AX 2012 and currently from last 4 years I'm working on D365 Finance and Operations technical. Coming to D365 Finance and Operations. It's an ERP application. Okay. In ERP we have multiple competitors. Microsoft technology is the ERP is D365 Finance and Operations. In my Microsoft products itself, we have multiple products like Navision, we have commerce system, we have retail, we have separately. Okay, this is the ERP Dynamics Finance and Operations. These days, people are calling D365 Finance only instead of operations. Okay, we can call like finance as well. Okay, they have divided into multiple things: sales, commerce, retail, and everything. So this we call it as D365 Finance. So what is meant by an ERP system? We have different type of systems: enterprise, e-commerce, and ERP system. Okay, what is meant by an ERP system? Can somebody answer? Enterprise resource planning. Okay, for example, if you take an organization, it has to deal with the throughout complete thing. It can be like a service organization or it can be a manufacturing organization, it can be any sales organization or anything. It can maintain everything. For example, if you take any organization which is dealing with manufacturing, so for manufacturing what they need to procure the raw material. Once they procure the raw material, they have to mm, make this raw material into some product. That product has to be, again they have to market that product and they have to sell that product. So everything they can maintain in the single system, and interrelated to everything. For example, if you take if it is a manufacturing organization, well, for manufacturing what they need to buy the raw material. Okay, for buying raw material what we need the vendors. So we need to deal with the vendors which we are which they are supplying the raw material for organizations. So we need to find out the vendors. We need to get the best quotations from the vendors. We need to identify the best quotation which is having quality and as price wise also, who is giving the correct price. Okay, best price they are giving from vendors quotations. And once we identify the best vendors, we need to raise a purchase order to the vendors. Once the purchase order is raised, they will supply the raw material. Based on that, we will receive the products, raw material, and raw material will be again we need the manpower to work on the product. They have to manufacture the product, right? Once the product is ready, again we need to market that product and sell that product. So for everything we need the manpower that will be maintained by using the human resources. Okay, this vendors and purchase orders and everything, it will be maintained in the accounts payable. Once you sell the product, you need to create the sales order, and you need to ship the product to the provide to the customer, and that thing you need to maintain. You will maintain it in the accounts receivable. Like this, you'll have the finance module. General ledger is one of the important module. So these are all the different modules, but these all things will be configurations and everything will be maintained by the functional people. Okay, what is the role of the technical people here? See, for example, I have already bought the D365 finance and operations from the Microsoft. Everything is set up, so functional guys will configure it, but no product will be completely designed for the our purposes, right? There can be, for example, I am maintaining different things. Okay, so for to fulfill my things, I can customize this D365 finance and operations as per the client requirement. Whenever client, as per the client requirement, we need to customize it. Okay, it can be a UA. For example, if you have a form, on that form you need to add more fields or some related information, you need to get it from the some other form and you need to display it here. That requires a customization. Okay, if it is a normal field directly available in that team, Microsoft is giving direct option to add by users itself. But if it is from the different table or something, you need to customize that form and get the information from the other tables and display it here. And there is a business process in between. For example, if you are doing some approval process, whatever the expenses are incurred by the employees, they have to submit their expenses to the their managers. Once the manager approves, it has to go to the finance team and all. In between, if you want to implement multiple approval process and all, there are lot of things you can customize. Or else if you want to develop new things, currently the micro in D365 finance and operations, that thing is not available. uh, that is actually relevant to your uh, business only. So that can be we can add the new features to the existing, by using the existing accounts receivable, accounts payable, and finance operations, human resource, and everything existing modules. We can add the add-on features to the existing ones, or you can develop a completely new module itself if you need. Okay, that type of customizations and everything we will uh, deal with the technical consultants. Okay, whatever the configurations are there, for example, if you take general ledger accounts and everything, main accounts and everything, it will be uh, configured by using this functional consultants. Functional consultants will configure everything to make the system work and available to the actual users. Technical people, whatever the customizations, like if you want to add the new feature to the existing one, or if you want to uh, design a separate form and make it available to the users, so technical people will come into the picture. Yes, and these customizations has to be again tested, and so testing team is required. Mostly testing team will also be the functional guys only, because normal testing team will not have the functional knowledge. Then they will test. Their testing will be different, and if they have the functional knowledge, ERP functional knowledge, they will test in different way. So most of the organizations, they will take the functional guys only in the ERP testing process. Okay. So in ERP, this is the ERP system. So multiple ERP systems are available in the market. Can somebody name those ERP systems?
SAP,
SAP,
Oracle,
SAP, okay, Oracle apps,
yeah, PeopleSoft.
Navi, PeopleSoft. PeopleSoft is not fully ERP, but some extent it will. Navision, okay. This SAP, Oracle apps, and AX, Microsoft Dynamics AX is the, they will take it for the bigger organizations, and PeopleSoft, Navision, and all some mid-sized organizations or small organizations, they it will be useful. Okay, SAP, this Oracle apps, and this Microsoft Dynamics. These are the, it will be used for from mid-sized to the larger organizations as well. Okay, coming to this Dynamics AX, Microsoft has bought actually previously the version from the other company, and they have released AX 2009. Okay, this is a desktop application. Later they have identified a lot of performance issues and all. Okay, and they came up with the new version AX 2012. This is also a desktop application. I think most of you people aware about desktop application and web application difference. Desktop application means whatever we are directly installing on our machines and using it. For example, this is OneNote. Currently, I am using this OneNote. Okay, for using this one, I am installing this OneNote on my machine and I am using it. That is MS Office. These days, Microsoft has come up with a new concept called online MS Office. You can directly use by using the browser instead of installing it without installing. Those are called web applications. Gmail, that is a web application. Okay, desktop application means first you need to install the application on your desktops and then you have to use it. So AX 2009 and AX 2012 are the desktop applications. In AX 2012, Microsoft have released three versions: R1, R2, and R3. These are three major versions they have released, and then Microsoft come up with the version called AX7. Okay, this is a completely the architecture got changed and they moved it to the web architecture and they moved it to the cloud. Okay, cloud micro we call it as Microsoft Azure. Okay, later they came up with the AX 8.0 and then they renamed the complete thing and they put all the different related technologies into one umbrella and they call it as D365. Okay, here it will come CRM or finance and operations. There is one more called sales and commerce. There are multiple systems. They named this as D365 and they put all into one single umbrella. There are multiple things are there. Now they make it as D365. Under that we have our D365 finance and operations as well. Okay, the D365 finance and operations, as I mentioned, this is a complete cloud architecture. It is hosted on the cloud and it will available to the system. And even environments also, everything in cloud architecture, we have different methodologies, right? SaaS, software as a service. Okay, I, IaaS, what you call infrastructure as a service. Like this, different cloud methodologies are there. Based on that, based on our requirement, you need only software. For example, CRM application, you don't need the environments as well. If you are not doing any development, you can directly access. Even D365 finance and operations also, users will not directly connect to the any environment or something. Directly they will log into the application by giving the URL through any web client. It can be Google Chrome or it can be Internet Explorer. Okay, anything. Okay. So this D365 finance under operations comes under this infrastructure as a service because Microsoft is providing the environments as well. Even your development environment and testing environment, user UAT environment and production environment, everything will be on the cloud. Just you need to, if you want to connect to the development environment, you need to connect to remotely and you will work on that environment. So client, any customer, no need to maintain the servers and all. But previously in AX2012, customer has to maintain their own servers, database and everything. They will maintain it, and whatever the customizations we are doing, we will deploy it to directly to the different environments. Even development environments, test environments, UAT environments, everything we need to maintain here. But in
Excuse me.
D365 finance and operations, everything will be maintained by Microsoft. Complete architecture hardware will be provided by Microsoft, so we will pay as you use.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Yeah, it is on premise is also available over there, right?
Yes, for development purpose only. Production, you need to go for the cloud architecture only.
Okay.
Okay, that I will come to what are the different types of environments. I will come to that. So we call it as tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 environments. Tier 1, the development environments and normal test environments will come under tier 1, and tier 2 means ERT and pre-prod kind of thing, and tier 3 is the production. Okay, in development and test environments you can maintain in on-premises as well as cloud. Okay, this tier 2 environment, so you need to go for the cloud hosted only, because the database and everything will be hosted on the cloud. If you want to use this development environments only for the testing purpose, that you can do it, there is no restriction. But everything we need to maintain, like you need to apply the development environments. If you maintain the on-premises environments, deployment and everything we need to take care. There is no automation for the deployments, so we need to manually deploy the packages and everything, the package generation and deploy it. You need to go for the manual. Okay, if it is a cloud environment, so we can generate the packages through directly DevOps process that I will explain, and we can directly deploy the package to the multiple environments. If it is a cloud hosted environments, you can do it by using the portal called lifecycle services, that I will come to that. And production, this is also a cloud hosted. For production, we will not have any access like X2012. We can log into the VM and we can see the application code and everything in the production if you take the X2012. But in D365 finance and operations, we will not have any production access. You cannot see the go to the production VM and the database like that. Only through application you can access it if you have the application access. If your user is added to the production URL, then only you can access that application. Okay, otherwise you will not have any access to this production. As I mentioned, even in cloud environments also, this development environments, you will have the standard alone database. SQL Server will be installed on standard alone. But in EOT and Type 2 environments, SQL Server is cloud hosted. So database is also in the hosted on the cloud, that will be connected to this application. Even production also cloud hosted, as I mentioned. Okay. Now coming to this environment management, Microsoft is we need to take the subscription from the Microsoft. Okay, under that subscription, based on your environment requirement, for example, you have a project for 6 months, you need to implement the project. That can be, you need 6 months. So for 6 months you need the 4 developers or 5 developers. So you need to take the 5 development environments, 1 or 2 test environments, and 1 UAT environment, and 1 production environment. Based, so it will be cost everything. So based on your requirement, you can switch off the environments when, for example, nighttime your developers is not going to work, right? So we can switch off the environments and we can start the environments morning time. There is an automation process. It can be based on your time configuration. It can be automatically switched off and automatically start as well. Okay, that is complete cloud. By using Azure portal you can do all those things. Okay, here we have 2 types of subscriptions from Microsoft. One is Microsoft managed, and second one is customer managed. In Microsoft managed, Microsoft will manage all the environments and everything. Here you will not have any admin rights on the development environments or any EOT environment, even any tier environment, you will not have admin rights. Microsoft will provide the user access. By using that user access only, you need to connect to the environments, you need to work on that. And here customer managed environments, you will have the complete full admin rights. So if you want to install any third party tools or something, you can do that. Okay, but in Microsoft managed subscription, you will not have the access to admin rights. Just user access they will give. We will work by using the user access only. Here you will have the admin rights. And for development purpose or testing purpose, if you want to go for the on-premises environment, that is possible. We need to download the environment from the lifecycle services portal. That I will show how can we download and all. I will explain in the actual sections. So we are going to use on-premises environment for our practice purpose. Okay. So in one or two integration areas, on-premises environment is not will not support, but remaining all whatever we are doing in the cloud environments from customization side, everything we can do it in the on-premises environments. But the actual VM has to be downloaded from the LCS Lifecycle Services portal, and we need to configure it. By default, everything will be installed on that. We no need to install anything separately, but it requires a non-Microsoft account. We need to create it. How to create that also I will explain in the actual sections. To access the environment, you need to, while explaining the architecture, I will explain you what is the on Microsoft account and all. Okay. We call it as LCS Lifecycle Services Portal. We have a separate portal uh, to manage all the environments. Microsoft is providing the portal. Whatever the environments you are creating by using the Azure, you can provision the environments. That VMs, everything will be maintained in the LCS. You can access those environments by using this LCS. If you want to deploy the package, or if you want to stop the environment, if you want to start the environment, and if you want to monitor the environments, how it is internally, is there any errors or any performance issues, everything can be monitored by using this LCS portal. Okay. And then one more thing called DevOps we will use it for multiple purposes. Okay. One is VSTS, we call it as TFS previously, Team Foundation Server. Why will you use it? Is anybody can somebody answer? Team Foundation Server for maintaining the code versions. Right, we will check in and check out the code, our code, whatever we develop. So other developers can take the latest and they can work on those objects. For example, I need to develop two classes and two tables. Okay, before developing the classes, I need to develop the tables. I have two developers, they are working on it. One developer is working on the table, second developer is working on the classes. So first developer can work on those tables and they can check in. Second developer can take the latest, so that will automatically whenever you take this, those objects can be accessed by second developer, and based on those objects he can create his own classes and everything. So we're maintaining the code versions and all. DevOps will we have the DevOps. Now Microsoft came up with the new portal that is also a cloud hosted. We call it as DevOps. There are a lot of features in DevOps. uh, Testers can create the test suites and they can create the test cases and execute it. Okay. And for technical purpose, it will be useful in two ways for us. One is VSTS, TFS Team Foundation Server. We can check in our code. We will maintain the code branches, and we will create the branches, and we will merge the code. We'll check in the code, check out the code by using this TSF action. One more thing is pipelines. Okay, whatever the code we have created, how can we, for example, I have developed a feature in my development environment. I did my uh, testing. Okay, now I want to move that one to test environment, and actual tester has to do the testing process. So how can I move the code from development environment to test environments? We can do it in multiple ways. In normal, like in standard level, manual way also, you can generate the package, and that package can be deployed to the test environment. So if you want to do the manual process, what you need to generate the package in your development environment. That package has to be copied to your test environment, and there you need to apply. If you have multiple test environments, you need to go to the multiple test environment VMs. You need to connect and you need to deploy the package. But here Microsoft came up with a new concept called pipelines. Okay, What it will do is it will take the code from this TFS and it will generate the packages, deployable packages. That package will be deployed to the exported to the LCS and can be deployed to multiple environments. Wherever is required, you can deploy to the that environments. Single package can be deployed to the multiple environments, okay, through LCS. So even for exporting this package to the LCS also, you can do the automation process by using the release pipeline. By using the release pipeline, you can directly export that package to the LCS and you can deploy to the environment you want to specify without any manual interaction. Everything can be automated. Okay, that is the LCS portal and DevOps concepts. Coming to the, okay, let's go to the architecture, how it will look like and everything. I will show you the PPT. Okay, this is the D365 finance and operations architecture. Previously in AX 2012, we have, if you install the Windows Server, on top of that we need to have the our organization Active Directory and all. In AX 2012 also, it is tightly coupled with the Active Directory. Okay, each and every user will be created in the Active Directory, and that user will be added to the AX2012 application, and then only they can access the application by using the client installed on their machines. Okay, here Microsoft has completely changed the architecture from desktop to the cloud hosted environments. Our whatever the Windows Server Active Directory is there, that has to be migrated to the Azure Active Directory. Okay, then only you can give the access to the application. So current Windows Server Active Directory has to be migrated to the Azure Active Directory. Okay, once the Azure Active Directory is migrated, this Azure Active Directory is maintained by using this Microsoft Office 365 Admin Center. That is also a portal. Here you can give the different roles to the users, and you can add to the multiple groups, and you can create the multiple users, multiple groups, and you can assign the users to the multiple groups and all. That part, this my Microsoft Admin Center will do. Okay, this finance and operations app will be tightly integrated with Azure Active Directory. Okay, this is the LCS. The environments will be maintained in the lifecycle services. Okay, their environments will be environments creation and everything will be maintained. This is the Visual Studio Team Foundation team server. It will be hosted on the DevOps. Okay, this will be tightly integrated. We can integrate these two, Visual Studio VSTS and LCS. We can integrate directly. Okay, how can we integrate and everything, I will explain in the actual sections. By configuration we can integrate it by generating a access token from the VSTS. You can integrate the LCS with VSTS, and this LCS is again connected with the environments, because all the environments we are maintaining through LCS portal only. So once you create an Azure Active Directory user, everything can be accessed by using this user. You can you can give the access to the application to that user. LCS also you can give access. If you are the some lead kind of thing, you need to maintain the environments, provisioning and everything. Through LCS access, you can do that. Same user you can give the access to the LCS. That is a single sign-on process. Okay. Once you added the user with single sign-on, you can log into the multiple environments. See, even for this DevOps also, we call it as DevOps, VSTS, Visual Studio Team Services. So same on-premise on my Microsoft Azure Active Directory, with creating the single user, you can you can give access to the multiple applications. This we call it a portal.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, may I know means where the RSAT tool RSAT was reside? It is in lifecycle services or VSTS? It is the part of
R,
VSTS.
no, no, no. It's not part of VSTS or it's not part of LCS. RSAT is a separate desktop application. You need to install it separately by downloading Regression Automation suite
Yes,
tool.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
once you installed in that is a separate desktop application. It's not a web portal kind of thing. Okay, once
Okay.
you installed in your desktop, you need to configure it according to your application. To which application you need to connect, there is a setup. You need to do that.
It means, if you want to use that tool, it is a desktop-based tool which will be connected through Azure connector or something like that with the
It's
lifecycle
not.
services, or with
No, no,
with
no.
the
It's not.
production
It's
environment
not
or
connect with.
related environment.
It's at a time it will connect to the one environment.
Okay.
Okay. What you need to do is first you need to generate one for connecting to the first we need to so RSET tool purpose is the doing the QA process. You need to do the automation
Yes, yes, yes,
testing, right?
definitely, definitely.
So
Yes,
for
yes.
that the test cases your test cases will be on the DevOps, right?
Okay.
Test suite and everything you will create on the DevOps. Okay, for each test case, you need to generate a XML file by using the task recorder in the application. That XML file you will upload into the test case.
Okay.
Okay.
That XML file that we have to download from the environment by the
Yes,
task
one
recorder,
the
and
steps
it
by
will
using
be
the task
import.
recorder.
Yes, and it will be imported like CSV or kind of things in that RSET
No,
tool
no, no, not
to
CSV,
generate
only
the
XML. You need to import as a
the
XML. That XML file
yes,
you
yes,
need to export it to the test case. Okay. That
yeah.
for connecting to the DevOps process, you need to generate a access token from the DevOps portal. That access token we will give it in the we will configure it in the this RSET tool.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay,
got it.
by using that RSET tool, it will download that test cases to your RSET tool and it will generate the artifacts for executing. Okay, that
Okay,
is a separate configuration. We need to do the configuration. That is a desktop application. It's not a portal.
okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. This is the high level architecture of the finance and operations. It has to deal with the multiple cloud portals. And coming to the application stack and server architecture, we have models. Previously in X2012, we have the layers concept, right? Here we have models concept. Okay. Layers concept, user layer and all layers concept is there, but going forward it will be removed. Currently we are not using that layers concept. It is a model concept. Model is a kind of uh, it's a separate folder kind of thing. It will be used for the deployment purpose. For example, previously if you want to deploy, what we will do is you will completely export your model store. So your model store will contain the both Microsoft standard code as well as your customization. But here in D365 Finance and Operations, complete architecture got changed. So we will create a model separately. Whatever the customizations you are doing, that will reside on our model. Okay. Only we will create the package for that particular model, and only the customizations will be deployed to the some other environment. Standard code will not be deployed or included in the package because whatever the versions you are maintaining in the different environments, it should be same. You are generating the package from the by using the code, whatever the customizations you are doing, that customizations only will be applied to the test environment and to the UAT environment and then to the production. Okay, we are not dealing anything with the standard code with the package while doing the package generation. These are the standard stack available. We call it as these are the application suite and fleet management is example one. Application suite and application foundation and all these are the different standard models available in the D365 finance and operations. On top of those, by using the referring those models, we will create our customized model. In customized model, we can add our new objects based on our requirements, or if you want to use the existing, for example, you have the custom table. In that custom table, you want to add the new field. So we'll in application suite, if custom table is available, we'll give the reference to that particular model, and we'll use that object. We'll create an extension for that particular object. Previously, we'll directly modify the standard object. For example, if you have a class, if you have the if condition, if you want to add something in that if condition in AX2012, you'll directly modify that object. We call it as overlaying. So we are directly modifying the standard object, and we are we are adding our code in between. But in D365 finance and operations, overlaying will not work. We have a new concept called extensions. Everything we need to do by using the extensions only. So how can we extend our objects and all? We will see. And here coming to this, we are like previously whatever the global address book, number sequence, organization model, source documents, and everything is there. SSRs reporting and everything. This will come under application foundation. And we have application platform, workflows, and runtimes. Client and presentation means forms, SSRS reporting, everything will be here in the application platform. Okay, coming to the finance and operations server architecture, we have the Windows Communication Foundation UI interaction layer. By using the forms engine, it will convert, and internally it will use the HTML and JavaScript and all, but you don't need to learn any HTML or JavaScript. Everything you can design by using the design pattern concept. Okay, you need to simply drag and drop by selecting your design pattern. You need to simply drag and drop your controls. You don't need to write any single code for any validation or anything. Okay, it will automatically generate the validations and everything. But if you have any specific validations, you can write the code by using the X++. You don't need to learn any HTML or any JavaScript or anything. Okay, everything will be simply drag and drop mechanism. You don't need to design the controls or anything. Okay, everything will be based on the configuration. You can design your controls and all. And OData is the new concept came in D365 finance and operations. Whatever the data entities we are creating, uh, if you give the if you want to give it to the actional access to import or export the data by using the OData service, by default it is enabled. By simple property, you can enable those entities for the OData. You can access those OData entities by using the OData URLs. Okay, and we have the security concepts, roles, duties, privileges, that is same. And XDS, extended data security, that is same. And cache mechanism is also same. This metadata is the actual code it will contain. And workflow is also, it is integrated one. There is no separate MS workflow or you need to install it separately, not like that. It is integrated one. And batch management services you'll have. This is a Windows service. You can see it on the environment as a separate Windows service, and you can work with that. Batch, if you want to do any like a background process or something, we will go for the batch management. And this will have the data access layer, and you will have the in dev environments you'll have the SQL server standardly installed, and in UAT and production environments you'll have the Azure SQL database. We, along with our AXDB, you'll have multiple read-only databases for SSRS reporting, and we have AXDW database for entity store and all. That I will explain in the actual sections. How can we use that one? And Power BI is also one of the thing. It is integrated. We can directly integrate. Previously, we don't have the Power BI integration directly with the X2012, but in D365 Finance and Operations, you can directly integrate with the Power BI, and you can design the reports. And we have the standard lot of standard reports as well in the Power BI that can be accessible directly from the D365 Finance and Operations application itself. Okay, this is the application stack and the server architecture. And if you come into the development environment, previously we used to use the Morphex as the uh, development UI. Okay, in Morphex tool we use it to, yeah, access the AOT objects, and we need to do the customizations. But now it is Visual Studio completely. We use the Visual Studio. There is no Morphex now. Everything we will do it by using the Visual Studio. Okay, in Visual Studio we will have the AOT. You can access it, and there will be a separate menu item for the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. And you will have the, once you the add-ons are installed, by default it will be installed in your dev environments, even it is a on premises or it is a cloud environment. based on your methodology created the environment, Visual Studio will be available with everything is installed, add-ons and everything. And we have a model concept. That model file system will be available. Based on this models and everything we'll create by using the Visual Studio. We'll create the new model, and whatever the project you will create, that project can be mapped to the particular model. Okay, one project can be mapped to one model only. Okay, but multiple projects can be mapped to the one model, single model. Okay, we can create a model, and that model, as I mentioned earlier, for deployment purpose, for creating the package and all, we will use this model. Whatever the customized objects, everything will be reside in, even in extensions or new objects, everything will be reside in this model. And we'll, once we compiled and everything, it will compile to the IL, and model libraries will be there. And based on these libraries, package generation will be done, and it will be deployed to the cloud instance. Okay, here we will have the batch management service. This is the Windows service, and storage service we'll have, and this is the AOS service hosted by IIS. As this is previously AOS service is the Windows service in AX 2012. Now this is a web application. This AOS service is hosted on the IIS, Internet Information Services. That is the web server by Microsoft. Okay, it is hosted on the IIS. And coming to the metadata, this is the model store. Metadata will be whatever the project system projects you are creating. X++ code editor will be there. For designing the forms, you'll have the designer, and workflow designer will have, and application explorer. Through application explorer, you can see all the objects available in the system, and design the meta model and best practices also tightly integrated in the Visual Studio itself. Like best practices in the sense naming convention, or if you are creating a, table, for each table you need to at least you need to add it to the at least minimum fields you need to add to the groups, right? Table groups will have, you can add it to the groups. At least you need to have index. So those best practices, everything will be tightly integrated in the Visual Studio. And this is the actual AXDB database, business database. It is connected like this. Okay, this is how the architecture will work. Any questions here? In finance and operation architecture, or application stack and server architecture, development environment. Any questions? Okay. Now I told to you LCS, right? In lifecycle service, from lifecycle services we can download the. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sir, I'm completely from non-IT, sir. Since I did BTech, but preparing for job, sir. So I'm
Okay.
planning to change,
Mm-hmm.
So without zero knowledge,
BTech
can
means
I?
BTech means you have
Electrical,
the
sir.
programming
Double E.
knowledge, right? Yeah, at least you have the C++
Uh,
knowledge, right? Programming knowledge.
no, sir. You lateral
No.
entry, sir. Diploma through BTech.
Okay. Yeah, if you have the minimal programming knowledge, you can learn this one.
Okay.
You should have the minimal
Definitely, we
programming
have that
knowledge.
knowledge.
Yeah, minimal programming knowledge
Okay, sir.
is required. Either C or C++ you can learn, and then you can come to this course.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And coming to the for practicing the things whatever I am explaining in the each and every class, for practicing it we can download the VM virtual machine from the LCS. How to download and how can we access that LCS and all, I will explain in actual sections. Once you downloaded the environment by using the Hyper-V manager, we can configure the environment and we can connect to that environment. But minimum it requires 16 GB RAM, and Windows Professional or Enterprise Windows 10. Okay, i5 and above processor is required. If it is, if you need, it will be in nominal speed and all. You will be able to work it. And this is my VM configured in the Hyper-V manager, and I can connect to that particular VM, and I will show you how the environment will look like and all. This is how the environment will look like. By default, SQL Server, Visual Studio, and D365 Finance and Operations will be installed. Once you go to this, under C drive, you can see AOS service. This is the D365 Finance and Operations folder. Here you will have the package local directory. These are all we call it as models. Accounts payable is a model, application common is a model, and whatever the, for example, if you have created one model, it will automatically create a model folder here. Vendor management is a model created by me. It is automatically creating. For each model, you will have all the objects. Okay, AX, EDT, extend data type, enumeration, form. So it is bifurcated based on the object type. And coming to the Visual Studio, if you open the Visual Studio, this is the development AI we are going to use for the development purpose. Here you will have the application explorer. Whatever the objects previously in Morphex in X20 how you use it, we can access like this. Okay. If you go to the data types, you'll have the base enums and extended data types. These extensions, I will explain what is an extension and how can we extend those objects. So for each type of thing, you will have the tables, views, all under data model, data entities, table collections, maps, composite data entities, aggregated data entities, and all. And user interface, if you come into forms, menus, and tiles and menu items will be available in this user interface. Okay, here you'll have the Dynamics 365 menu item. By using this one, you can create a new model by using the create model option, and you can update the model parameters for the existing models, and you can import the project by if you generate a explicit code. But whatever you are working, first you need to create a project. If you create a project, for example, if you want to create a project, you need to go to the new project. As the Dynamics 365 add-in is already installed, you can see on left side, you can see a type Dynamics 365. If you select that one, you have the different finance and operations project. This one we will create it. These are for if you want to develop any add-ins or best practices rules, we will use these projects. But finance and operations, if you want to customize any existing object or if you are creating a new object, new table or form, anything, we need to create the project by using the finance and operations. So this is the on-premises environment. Okay, if it is a cloud environment, you can directly remotely connect by using the credentials, and that will also look like same like this one only.
The Dynamics
Okay,
365 FNO is front end or back end version?
it will have both.
Uh, so what will be the fee
It's a complete
structure and
ERP system.
job?
Sorry.
What will be the fee structure and any job assistance from your side of it?
Yes, yes. Job assistance will be there once you learn complete concepts. Currently, the job market is very good, and once this previously it is desktop application, right? AX2012. Once it is hosted on the cloud, now Microsoft is acquiring lot of market, and now it is the uh, very big competitor for the SAP. Previously, most of the market went to the SAP, but once the Microsoft hosted this onto the cloud, now it is acquiring lot of market. So we have a lot of job opportunities. People are not, there is no resources, much resources in D365 finance and operations side. We have a lot of job market for this.
Fee structure, sir? Fee structure and course duration.
Course duration, fee structure, you can contact the front office people, they will explain. They will contact you, they will explain course content and all. I will show once this is done. I will show the course content and duration. I will tell. This is the application URL. Okay, this will look like this. You'll have the by default you'll have some sample data from Microsoft, and these are the different companies available in the system. by default, and you'll have the some sample data as well. If you go to some module, for example, accounts payable, and if you go to the vendors, you'll have the some sample data as well to work with. Mainly these are the two things we will use it. Visual Studio is the main thing. We will use it for the customizations and everything, development purpose, and application for seeing the actual things what we did, the modifications and everything. We can see it from the application by using the URL. And coming to the course content, let me open that course content. This is the course content. I will give the introduction, architecture, and comparison. Each and every topic I will compare with the previous version. So how it will work in X 2012, and now what are the changes? If there is any people who are currently working on AX 2012 and they want to learn D365, it will help them. And cloud model, what are the pros and cons? Introduction to Azure, three-tier and entire architecture, and licensing model, how the licensing model works, and application explorer, model management, and how to generate a package, and how can we use the LCS, and how to do the code migration by using the LCS, and how to set up the environment. And this is the menus and classic views and model views. This is from the Visual Studio. This is a menu item I have shown, right? And classic view and model view. In application explorer we have two views, classic view and model view, that I will show. Data types, primitives, base enums, extended data types. And coming to the what is data model and tables, views, queries, and how to create all these things. This is the complete and coming to the classes, object oriented programming concepts and classes in D365, and we have runnable class. How can we create that runnable class, and what are the new keywords when comparing to the X2012, and exception handling, macros. Coming to the user interface, you have form patterns and tiles, menus, menu items. And reporting side, you have the SSRS report and Power BI integration. How can we integrate with the Power BI, and how can we generate a simple report, and how can we show that report in the D365 finance and operations, and labels concept, workflows, configuration keys and references. And this is the security concept, XDS, extended data security model, how to create a role, duty, privilege, and permissions, and how to do the customizations and extensions, what is overlaying and what is extension. Okay, and how to extend the different objects, base enums, extended data types, tables, views, classes, and what is the delegates and event handlers, chain of commands. And coming to the integration side, you have services, OData services, and how to compare the code between the different versions, and how to deploy, what are the deployment model available, and moving customization to production, what are the different things we will consider. And if you are already working on AX2012 and you have the code, how to upgrade code to D365. And we have a trace parser for performance checking, and if there is any errors we are not able to replicate in environments, we can generate a trace, and how can we analyze the trace by using the trace parser tool. And this is the task recording, how can we generate the XML file or no word file by using the task recording concept in the D365 finance and operations. These are the topics will be covered, and course duration is 45 classes max. It will be around 45 days to 2 months. Okay, any questions here?
Can we get this list of the points?
Yes, yes, you can contact front office. They will share with your mail ID.
Okay, okay, okay.
Hi Ram, is this class
Sorry.
available on one-on-one or only batch?
One-on-one in the sense?
One-to-one,
You
one-to-one.
one
Oh
to
yeah.
one, it's not available.
Only batches.
It
Okay.
it will be available in batch. You can ask questions. It's interactive section only. It's not like
Okay.
I'm explaining it. You cannot talk like that. How we are conducting the demo, same thing. The classes also will be conducted in this go to meeting. You can ask questions anytime.
Yeah, no. Why I'm
It's
asking is
interactive.
because I am from Kuwait really, so it's a timing issue. That is why I ask. Okay.
Mhm. Timing you can check with the front office. Maybe they will adjust it to the your convenient time. At least
Mm-hmm.
some overlapping or something instead of midnight or something. They can overlap it.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Kindly share the front office contact information.
Front office contact information. I will share these numbers here. Let me check it. Is this old numbers or new numbers, or else I will give directly the.
So apart from this one, do we need any basic uh, SQL information or basic SQL knowledge for this one?
Basic SQL knowledge you are asking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
SQL, I
required?
think simple select statement, if you can write that, that is enough, and you can learn those things by creating these while doing the classes. You can learn those things. Simple, you'll have the SQL server
No, no.
already installed in this machine.
Is there any
Yeah, if you have,
necessity to learn?
it's not mandatory, but if you have, it is added advantage.
But C and CPP is mandatory for this.
No, no, C and CPP, why I have said it, those are the basic language concept they will cover, right? What is if condition, what is for loop, what is while loop, how to declare a variable. Okay, those things is required.
Same
Even if it
classes.
is
Yeah,
C
but
or .NET or anything, you learn. If basic programming knowledge, I'm saying. Okay, variable declaration, what is if condition, what is while loop, what is for loop. If you know, that is enough.
course duration, sir?
The 45 classes it will be. Okay, I'm giving the number here. You people can copy this one. Once I closed the meeting, it will not be available. Note down this number: 9705326 270.
970.
9705326 270. And if you have, you can put your numbers and email IDs so that they can contact back.
Yeah, can I ask something?
Yep.
How much time you take a daily session? How much time it will take on daily basis?
1 hour.
Okay. Uh, and how much days it will take? Almost?
Sorry, your voice is very low. Can you speak a bit louder?
In how much days it will get covered all the topics?
How many days you are asking? Yeah,
Yes.
it's 45 days to 60 days.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you people can drop your numbers and
Reason,
email IDs here.
fees, fees,
Yes, go ahead.
fees and sir, how much fees?
The fees and all you can contact front office. They will tell you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, drop your number here in this chat window. They will contact you. Any other questions? No. Okay then. Thanks everyone. You have any question? Okay. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. Have a good day. Looking forward to see you in the actual sessions.
Thank you.